The summer of 1944 was a crucible, a moment when the fires of global conflict forged a new direction for the world. As the calendar turned to July, the Allied powers, fighting across multiple continents and oceans, launched a series of powerful offensives that would irrevocably shift the momentum of the Second World War. On maps in war rooms from Washington to Moscow, the lines were beginning to move, heralding a period of relentless pressure that the Axis powers could no longer withstand. This single month would prove to be one of the most decisive turning points of the entire conflict, a series of interconnected events that tightened the vice on Germany and Japan. On the Western Front, the initial post-D-Day stalemate in Normandy was shattered. After weeks of brutal hedgerow fighting, the Allies unleashed Operation Cobra on July 25th, preceded by a cataclysmic aerial bombardment that shook the very earth. American forces pierced through the heavily fortified German lines near St. Lo. This was the breakout they had been waiting for. Columns of Sherman tanks, backed by waves of infantry, poured through the gap, fanning out across the French countryside. The German 7th Army, battered and outmaneuvered, began a desperate retreat, marking the beginning of the end for their occupation of France and signaling a dramatic acceleration of the campaign in the West. Simultaneously, the Eastern Front was witnessing a catastrophe of epic proportions for the Wehrmacht. The Soviet Union's summer offensive, Operation Bagration, which had begun in late June, reached its devastating climax in July. An overwhelming force of Soviet soldiers and seemingly endless waves of T-34 tanks surged westward, annihilating the German Army Group Center. Entire German divisions were encircled and destroyed as the Red Army advanced hundreds of miles, crossing into Poland and reaching the outskirts of Warsaw. This monumental collapse on the Eastern Front ripped the heart out of the German war machine, a blow from which it would never truly recover. Thousands of miles away, in the vast expanse of the Pacific, the American island-hopping campaign continued its relentless push toward Japan. On July 21st, U.S. Marines stormed the beaches of Guam, an island that had been under Japanese control since the early days of the war. The battle was a brutal affair, fought in dense, suffocating jungles and across rugged volcanic terrain. The Japanese defenders, entrenched in a network of caves and pillboxes, fought with fierce determination. The intense combat that followed was a grim preview of the bloody struggles that lay ahead as Allied forces closed in on the Japanese home islands. While soldiers fought on distant shores, tragedy struck the American home front. At the Port Chicago Naval Magazine near San Francisco, a rushed and dangerous operation was underway. On the night of July 17th, African-American sailors, working under immense pressure and with inadequate training, were loading tons of munitions onto 2 cargo ships. A catastrophic explosion suddenly ripped through the facility, a blast so powerful it was felt miles away. The disaster claimed the lives of 320 men and highlighted the perilous conditions and racial inequities faced by many who served far from the front lines. From the shattered German lines in Normandy and the plains of Poland to the jungles of Guam, July 1944 was a month of profound change and consequence. The synchronized Allied advances across the globe created an unstoppable tide, pushing the Axis onto a defensive from which there was no escape. The events of this single pivotal month did more than just alter battle lines on a map. They broke the back of the Axis war effort and decisively paved the road to victory.